There are quite a lot of games out there that are perfect for Halloween. Some scary and some that are dumb fun. Hello gamers, welcome back. Since it's almost Halloween, I decided to make a Halloween special. And this is my costume, Bob from Tekken. More like I just messed around with him in the character customization. Now these are games that I have personally played and enjoyed. And I'm going to be talking about ones like Dead Space, this is my all-time favorite, and like Luigi's Mansion. These are like classics to me, even though I just played these this year. And also some of the games are ones that I can't play at night because I'll get too scared. For this video, I'm going to start with the more casual games, and then I'm going to work up to the more scarier games. So the first games that I'm going to be talking about are superhero games. If you want to enjoy the dressing up part more for Halloween, then superhero games are perfect for you. There are a lot of them, but I personally play the Spiderman PS4 games and currently Batman Arkham Knight. And it's funny how Arkham Knight takes place on Halloween. I love swinging around New York as Peter Parker, and I could barely drive the Batmobile, but Batman can also fly around the city in style. Also, if you're a fighting game enjoyer like myself, then there's also fighting games with superheroes too, as the main focus. Like Injustice and Marverl Vs Capcom. I dabbled in Injustice and its sequel with the story mode, and it's pretty good, except I hate the clash system, and I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat combos. Then there's Marvel vs. Capcom, and that one's more my speed. Basically, Marvel vs. Capcom is two franchises come together, and it's pretty fun. It's a tag team game, and you can play as your favorite superhero or villain, and you can play as your favorite Capcom video game character. The first game I played is the third game, and I still have a blast with it. And recently the collection came out, and I get to experience the older games without selling my soul for the PS2 version. I need to play more hero games like Marvel Alliance, because I only play like Spider-Man and Batman games, but I really do want to play the Deadpool one. That one looks really funny. Alright, that's enough about superhero games. Let's get on to my favorite Ghostbuster Mario brother, Luigi's Mansion. So, Luigi's Mansion first appeared as a launch title on the GameCube and has had two sequels to it. Basically, Luigi goes to a mansion, meets up with Dr. Egad, becomes a Ghostbuster, and sucks up ghosts. I really enjoyed the first and the third one the most. I don't really like the second one due to it being level based. The first one is an all-time classic with the different ghosts in it, and I love the mansion design. And I think it's really cool that Luigi has to rescue Mario this time, while he is scared shitless. I love the charm of this game. The third game is the one I started with, and before I even had a Switch, I would have watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough of it back in high school. Then I finally got my hands on a Switch, and then I got the game, and I really loved it. This series isn't creepy or scary, but the atmosphere is dark and it actually feels like a haunted house. That's all I got for Luigi's Mansion. Let's get on to the next game, which is Hades. Hades is a great game, and I'm adding it to the list because of the vibe of the game. Mostly because the music makes it feel creepy, but also really awesome at the same time, like when you fight the Minotaur and Theseus. So in Hades, you play as Hades' son, Zagreus, who wants to leave Tartarus, and the Olympian gods help him by giving him abilities. This game is also a roguelike. Zagreus also has a great option of weapons to choose from, like a sword, javelin, Captain America shield, bow, boxing gloves, and a frickin' machine gun. You can also equip keepsakes that have different effects, and you get them from giving ambrosia to the different citizens of hell like Achilles, Megara, Skelly, and the gods themselves. Also, you get to pet Cerberus, and that's an automatic win in my book. There are 4 different levels of Hades. The first level is Tartarus, then the lava level Asphodel, then there's Elysium, and the Temple of Styx. I still have not beaten this game yet, but I put in a lot of time and I had a lot of fun with it too. Even when you died 50 times like I have, the characters don't repeat the same thing over and over again. If you enjoy learning about Greek mythology and having badass boss fights, Hades is perfect for you. No wonder it won Best Indie Game in 2020. And I will pick up Hades 2 at some point. Now, let's get on to the next game, and it's Metroid Dread. You know it's going to be creepy when you see a lot of red on the main menu. Metroid Dread is a great game. It goes back to its 2D roots, and it's really action-packed. The only scary thing about this game is Samus getting chased by the Emmy robots, and how stressful it is trying to outrun them. They can grab Samus and kill her, or you can break free from them, but the timing on that is really hard, and I usually die a lot. Also, the theme when the robots spot you does not help. Yeah, if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. You're in for a great treat. So that's all I gotta say about Dread. That's already been said. So let's get on to the next game. It's a PC game that I got because of this picture, and it's called Dead Estate.
So a truck driver and a woman flee some zombies and take refuge in a mansion. And you have the option to play as the old guy or the woman. I like the old guy style more, and I will admit, I bought this game because of the hot witch in it that you can buy stuff from. I really like the pixel art and how the old guy looks when he looks straight. After you get past the first floor or something, then an unkillable zombie will follow you like Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. The bosses are really unique too, and I feel like I'm playing Resident Evil 1 as a roguelike. Also, this game isn't scary, so you can play it late at night. Don't have too much fun with it when you get to the doctor. So the next game is going to be a fighting game, and it's Darkstalkers. This is the perfect fighting game for Halloween because you got Frankenstein's monster, a mummy, a werewolf, a vampire who turns guys into girls, a succubus, a bee, a British zombie who shreds the guitar, and a Little Red Riding Hood committing war crimes. Basically, this game is a monster mash, and Heist & Co is my favorite. I really like this series. It's too bad that there aren't any new games for it, and they only keep coming back for crossover games, mainly Morgan and Felicia being the most popular choices. And don't get me started on the custom DLCs for Street Fighter. It is pretty nice that Capcom made a collection and included all the Darkstalker games on it. Alright, let's get on to an action-packed game, and that's Doom. Doom is another great series. I mainly played the recent ones like the 2016 one and Doom Eternal, but I gotta respect the old games. I will say this, the game isn't scary. The environment of 2016 kind of is, like you're on a space station on Mars that gathers hell energy, and there's a lot of blood and dead bodies and demons running around. Why isn't it scary? Well, it's simple. You're a Doom guy. He is brutal against demons, and whenever you play the game, you feel like you just ate a lot of steroids for breakfast. And you take your anger out on the demons. Plus, killing demons are so satisfying, especially glory killing one, where you just damage them enough, they glow, and you just punch them. It's also a great strategy to do since you get health from it. And what do you do if you run out of ammo? Well, I'm glad you asked. He has a chainsaw, and there's a lot of demons. Go have some fun out there. But yeah, it's a really great series, and it's a lot of fun too. Alright, now let's get on to a game that I played as a kid, and it's Spongebob, Kreature from the Krusty Krab, and it's not a good game. So the premise of this game is Spongebob, Patrick, and Plankton are all dreaming about different things. Like Spongebob racing a car, Patrick being a superhero, and Plankton running from a giant Krabby Patty. I will admit, this isn't the best Spongebob game like Battle for Bikini Bottom, but I still have nostalgia for it. It was pretty cool to be Plankton being like Godzilla for that one part of the game, and that's about the only fun part, to be honest. The rest of this game is so boring, and god, the ending is so weird. So that's all I have to say about it, to be honest. I suggest watching the game on YouTube or something to experience it, but play a good game. Next is the last non-scary game, so let's get into Red Dead Undead Nightmare. So it's Red Dead, but with zombies. Basically, John's family gets turned into zombies, and John sets out to find a cure for them. This game has its funny moments, but I only played the game for about an hour, and it's not that scary. The only difference of this game is there's less ammo, and you can help stop zombie outbreaks in different towns. If you wanted to play a zombie cowboy game, then you can mess around in Undead Nightmare. So let's start getting to the scary games now, shall we? And I'll start with Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll be brief since everyone has heard of Five Nights at Freddy's. You're a security guard, and the animatronics are trying to get in to kill you. The four main robots are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Bonnie's my favorite, I will die on that hill. I will admit, I'm scared to play the first game. The first game is actually really creepy with the dark halls, Bonnie in this one room, Chica looking like she's trying to rizz me up. The jump scares are scary to me in this one, and conserving power so Freddy won't come in and kill you. After the first game, the other ones aren't that scary, except the fourth one. I'm not playing that one. Let me ask you this. Why would I be scared when Toy Chica is in the hall, if you know what I mean, and Springtrap's jump scare is this? That's not scary. There's another good FNAF game, and it's Into the Pit. It's a pixelated 2D FNAF game where you play as this kid named Oswald, where he tries to rescue his dad after he got kidnapped by a yellow rabbit. I really like this game because the pixel art looks amazing, especially on the animatronics. And the quick time events when you're hiding from the rabbit is so good. So if you want to get a good scare, play the first and the fourth ones. The other games are okay. Meanwhile, if you want a great game, Into the Pit is my favorite. Now, let's get into an all-time classic, that being Resident Evil. Resident Evil is basically a town turns into zombies because of a greedy corporation called Umbrella that makes drugs. That's basically the whole plot. I got into the series because of the RE2 remake when I would watch Markiplier play it back in high school and before I had any consoles. I really enjoyed the second remake a lot. The third one was good in my opinion. While 4 through 6 was more action-packed, Resident Evil 7 came back into scary mode, and I and many other people are only excited for the 8th game because of Lady D.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
So this series has a lot of games, and I think the scariest one is definitely the 7th game. And everyone can agree, Leon had the worst first day of being a cop, and Chris Redfield punching a boulder was really funny. Now let's get into another creepy game, that being Sucker for Love, Date to Die For. So I recently streamed Sucker for Love 2, and I really enjoyed it. It is really creepy with the enemies jump scaring you, until you realize you can see if someone's there by slightly opening the door. I did get scared for a bit when I played this, but once you play it enough, it's not that scary, and you got a hot goat girlfriend to comfort you. Basically, the gameplay is, you do these rituals to burn down this magical forest that a cult uses to gain more people and victims. And Roxanne, the goat goddess, helps you since the cult is abusing her power and she wants to stop them. And this is also a romance simulator. You get the right materials and then do a ritual, and then you escape the cult that tries to stop you. And this water bottle is the most powerful weapon. It works against people, Roxanne, and Auntie Nanyan. I haven't played the first game yet because I saw this moment in the game and I wanted to play it. So with that, it's time for the next game, and it's Soma. This game is really good. So, Soma is like an amnesia game, but it's more futuristic. You play as this guy named Simon, who just got into a car accident and has brain damage. Simon then goes to his doctor's appointment, and after getting a brain scan, he wakes up in an underwater facility where there's no people and a lot of weird black goop. Also, machines think that they're human too.
But I think you might be trapped in a robot.
I'm telling you, get your eyes checked. I'm right here. I see both my hands, both my feet.
I'm not going to say much about the plot because I don't want to spoil this game for anyone who's playing it or who wants to play it. It is really creepy though, especially when dealing with Scary Terry over here and going into the abyss of the sea. This is why I have not played Subnautica. And when you complete more of the game, the starting menu becomes more creepy. This is more of a sneaking game, but the plot is really good, and once you finish it, you'd be like, damn, that plot hits really hard. I really like this game, and I only knew of it because Markiplier played it. So with that out of the way, let's get into my all-time favorite survival horror franchise, Dead Space. Oh my god, this is my favorite franchise. So basically, Dead Space is a futuristic version of Resident Evil. You play as Isaac Clarke, just your normal engineer in the year 2508. So in the first game, Isaac decides to go on this rescue mission to this planet cracker ship called the Ishimura, where he wants to rescue his girlfriend Nicole, especially since he convinced her to go on the ship before it got decommissioned. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Well, when Isaac and his team find the Ishimura, things go badly real fast. Then Isaac learns how to defend himself against these alien zombies called necromorphs, where you gotta cut off their limbs in order to kill them. So headshots are useless. Isaac can also slow enemies down and use a telekinesis module to pull items and body parts from dead necromorphs. I really like this franchise a lot because it keeps you on your toes, and I really like sci-fi. Plus, I love Gunnar Wright's performance as Isaac. I first played the remake of Dead Space 1, and I really enjoyed it. I probably won't go back and play the original since Isaac doesn't talk in the original, and I prefer to hear Isaac talk and just eat up Gunnar Wright's performance. I'm not dissing on the original, just to be clear. It is still a great game. Dead Space 2 was also amazing. Basically, Isaac is on this huge city ship, and there's another necromorph outbreak, and he's just trying to escape. This game makes him really badass, and it's a great sequel. Dead Space 3, on the other hand, is a disappointment. What makes Dead Space so scary is, you could be minding your own business, and a necromorph could pop out any second, and the music makes this bone-chilling sound. Also, if you don't want to spoil the game in the first one, do not spell out the first letter of each chapter, or you'll spoil yourself. Also, do you know how many guest appearances Isaac has made in a lot of different games? I wish I bought him in Fortnite. And I want to get Skate 3 now because this looks hilarious. So that's it for this video. I cannot wait for Halloween so I can bust out my Bob costume at work. I know there's more horror games out there, but those are the ones that I've actually played. Also, I got the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and I can't wait to see it.
The reason why I didn't go see it was because I was just too lazy to go to a movie theater. The one closest to me is like an hour away, and I didn't want to drive, but I heard a lot of good stuff about this movie, and I cannot wait. Especially the Gambit scene, I cannot wait for that. Well, that's all I want to say. I hope you guys have a fun and safe Halloween out there. And the best candy to get is Reese's. I really love Reese's, and it clearly shows. So, have a happy Halloween!